My mother-in-law ruined my pregnancy announcement today at her birthday party. I returned the favor for 3 years. Catherine has made me feel like an outsider in my husband's family. Small comments about my cooking, helpful weight loss tips over holiday dinners, and constant reminders that her son could have married a doctor instead of a teacher. But I endured it all with a smile. Her name until she stole the moment I'd been dreaming of my entire life. After 2 years of fertility treatments, painful procedures, and one devastating miscarriage, James and I finally saw those 2 pink lines we planned to announce at his family's Easter brunch with tiny hand-knitted booties I'd secretly made during my lunch breaks. The night before, Catherine called to check in about brunch preparations. When I mentioned we had a special announcement, she paused for just a second too long. "Oh, is it about the baby?" she asked casually. My heart stopped. "How did you know?" "James told me weeks ago, dear. I've already shared the news with the family group chat." XMN so excited. James swore he never told her. The only proof was a receipt from the pharmacy where I'd bought my pregnancy test perter found in our bathroom trash after Catherine had stopped by to drop off mail while we were at work. I cried for hours that night. My moment perned the one bright spot after years of heartache. Pernt had been stolen by a woman who had made snooping an Olympic sport. Today was Catherine's 60th birthday celebration. 40 guests gathered at her country club for what she called the social event of the season. I'd been planning my response for 5 months, watching my belly grow along with my determination. When it came time for toasts, Catherine beamed as James handed me the microphone, no doubt expecting the usual platitudes about her generous spirit and loving guidance. "I'd like to thank everyone for coming to celebrate Catherine," I began sweetly. "Not many women her age can pull off such an event while preparing to welcome a grandchild." The room erupted in congratulations. Catherine's smile froze. And since Catherine was so excited to share our pregnancy news with everyone before we could, I thought it only fair that I share her news too. I pulled out my phone and projected a series of sound onto the wall, parrot every nasty text she'd sent about me to James over the years, including one from just last week where she suggested I'd trapped her son with this pregnancy. "I also found these while helping Catherine with her new phone setup," I continued. Screenshots of Catherine's dating profile where she describes herself as 55 and fabulous, and several very intimate exchanges with a man named Roberto who is definitely not Catherine's husband of 40 years. Catherine lunged for the microphone while her husband sat stunned, staring at the messages still projected on the wall. "James and I have decided that our child deserves to be surrounded by honest people who respect boundaries," I said as Catherine's face contorted with rage. "So we'll be moving across town where we can start fresh without unwanted intrusions." I placed the microphone on the table and waddled out, one hand on my 7-month belly. Behind me, I heard the unmistakable sound of Catherine's perfect party descending into chaos as we drove away. James squeezed my hand. "I should have stood up to her years ago," he whispered. "Some people say I went too far, but after years of small cruelties and one enormous betrayal, I finally understood." The only language Catherine spoke was public humiliation. "Sometimes you have to fight fire with Firebird, especially when someone tries to burn down your happiest moments."